It's the halftime show for Cover 1. It's Texas High School Football Week 10. It has been a good one so far. The Central Bobcats have taken the lead over the Odessa Permian Panthers. Before we get to that, though, let me bring in my co-host here, James Bellini. James, it's been a really good night of football. What have you been? What has been the most impactful thing that you've seen so far? Tease it up a little bit.
Man, we got just a little Southwest Conference. We got kind of some surprises going on there, so that's a big deal. This conference that's wide open. It's a wide open district with Central and Legacy and Midland and Permian. So let's get to it. Let's get right into it, man. Let's do it.
Here we go. Here is the Central Bobcats in the first half. Right here, Tyler Hill just doing his thing. Throws the ball to Jacob English. Yes, 92 yards. 92 yards. 7-0 Bobcats. That's the third play of the game.
I think so. Right there, Chadwick talked about his ankle last week. I tweaked it. Maybe it looks okay there.
Yeah, he looks pretty. It has been all night. Just a spoiler alert there. But right here, Permian was able to get in, barrels his way through just like Permian does, and it's on the board there. 7-7, right?
I believe so. Yes, I believe so.
Yeah.
Here you go. This was the
next drive.
Yes, next drive. That puts Permian up
14-7 at this point. Tyler Hill with the bomb as he gets hit. Interception by Odessa Permian. Things right now in San Angelo Stadium, we're getting a little quiet. It's actually 10-7 at this point. 10-17. But then here we go. Tyler Hill to the left side. Breaks one out into the end zone. Touchdown for the Bobcats. This is where the momentum started to shift a little bit, and their comeback really started. They're going to get down. And
this made it 16-21.
16-21 at this point. Got the extra point, 21-17. Next drive by the Panthers, they were able to put it in there. Going to make it 28-16 at this point. With the second quarter really winding down there.
Here's the 45-yard line. They take the snap. Tyler Hill's going to find Walker takes 45 yards for a touchdown.
45-yard touchdown.
What is that, 24?
That was 28-24. Momentum really starting to shift to Central on the next Permian drive. They would throw an incomplete pass, turn it. It would go back to Central, then bomb Jacob English for the 50-yard line into the end zone. Makes it 31-28. Central's leading.
Yeah, and that's going to take me at the end of the first half. 31-28. So at one point, it looked like the Bobcats were down. They were down 2 scores.
And once you get down to Permian, it's hard to fight out of that hole. So.
Yeah.
But
absolutely, momentum's all on the Bobcats right now.
Absolutely.
We may have a long halftime. It's because a little senior night. Gotta throw a little remembrance for your last time playing at San Angelo Stadium. It's been a good one so far. James, kind of give it to me. What have you seen in this game that really has impressed you by the Bobcats?
Just their ability to put up points. I mean, I don't know why it's so impressive, but they're playing Permian, and Permian is just such a good team. And they have all these big splash plays on defense. They have such a swarming deep. If you look at their stats, they're just loaded up at sacks, and they knock the ball down. And
they only have 1 loss on the season.
Right, and then they're just impressive. They fight back out of holes. So Central, don't let this long halftime get to you. You've got to stay in this game. We were talking about halftimes just a little bit ago here, and how we hate long halftimes. You get complacent, your body settles down a little bit. Stay active and keep your mind in it. That's the big deal, and you can come out in this one.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, the Bobcats right now are playing crazy, but at the same time, the defense has given up just a little bit too much. I mean, we're talking about every other. I mean, we were sitting in there in the bullpen at the scores table. Go to sanangelolive.com/scores to see all the scores. But we were sitting there at the scores table, and it's like the Gantis is sitting there putting in scores, and at the same time we're like, oh, they just scored again. He's like, well, I just updated that one. So I mean, that game is moving quick, fast, and a hurry. All right. Guys, we have Ryan Chadwick, our Bobcat expert there at San Angelo Stadium, so let's go to him and get his take on this first half. Ryan?
Hey, it's Joe Hyde here. I'm pointing the camera at Ryan Chadwick, our football expert. So Ryan, what I saw tonight was we're able to move the ball almost as much as they can. At least we can score as much. But our defense is struggling a little bit. They have moments of brilliance and moments of can't stop the run. What did you see?
Yeah, Joe, it's kind of a pretty identical for both teams on both sides of the ball. Neither defense seems to be able to stop what the other team's offense wants to do. For the Bobcats, they've been struggling with the run all year, and that's continued to kind of be a theme tonight. With that being said, Odessa Permian's run game is probably the best in the district, with us being right there behind them. But with that being said, tonight we are not a running team. We do have 100 yards on the ground, but Tyler Hill also has 250 yards through the air.
So right now we were able to get the lead toward the end of the second half. We're 31-28 right now. What do you think we got to do in the locker room to win this game?
I think the defense needs to come up with at least 2 more stops, just like they did in the first half, and the offense cannot turn the ball over. That is key. The offense cannot turn the ball over.
And one of the things that I saw, it seems like Permian is making more mistakes than we are, so at least with penalties.
Permian has gotten caught with a couple different holding calls on a couple different drives so far. That's part and parcel of having a big offensive line and trying to run the ball as much as they do. With that being said, we have been the beneficiary of that, but in the past, we've been the ones who've been called for those. So looks like it's going our way for now. Let's hope it just kind of stays that way.
All right, Ryan, we'll see you back at we'll come back you'll go back into the studio at the end of the game.
I'll be on the show.
This is Joe Hyde. That's Ryan Chadwick right in front of you. We'll see you in about, I don't know, an hour?
Let's hope.
All right, yeah, let's hope this game ends fast in a hurry, because that would probably mean the Bobcats would hold on to the lead. All right, guys, before we move on to our next game, I want to let you guys know about the Ram Power Days. Right now, you can get the 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4 for only 2.9% APR financing for 72 months. Plus, if you're a Texas resident, like you probably are, you can get $1,500 in the State Fair of Texas bonus cash allowance, and you can get another $1,000 bonus cash allowance when you finance through Chrysler Capital. But you better hurry, because this spooky deal is going to end on Halloween. That's Monday, October 31st. Go see the guys there at the Autoplex there at 4310 Sherwood Way. They're at Sherwood Way at Southwest, or give them a call, 325-284-3032. That is the Autoplex. And remember, nobody beats an Autoplex deal. So go check those guys out. All right, moving on to our next game. James, we're going to go to your alma mater. The Cristobal Cougars and the Sonora Broncos right now are in a dogfight. It is 10-6 at halftime, and with the highlights for this, we will go to Ernesto Rodriguez. Ernesto, take it away.
Good evening, everyone. This is Ernesto Rodriguez live in Cristobal. It is 57 degrees with a 15% chance of rain, so we shouldn't see any precip tonight, hopefully. But if we do, this is a game that was made for the weather, as we are in Cristobal. The Cristobal Cougars are hosting the Sonora Broncos, and their band is currently playing the school song for Cristobal. Both teams are here for another game under the lights Friday night, as Cristobal 4-4, while Sonora is 6-2. So Sonora with the better record definitely seems to be a favorite, but we'll see how it goes. Cristobal does have the home field advantage, and it should be a great game tonight here at Jack Party Memorial Stadium. It's 4th and goal. Cougars have it, and it does appear to be going for it. This is it. Cristobal, they're gonna leave it all on the line tonight, like we are here in Cristobal under the Friday night lights, waiting for this play here. We got 2 running backs in the backfield. Quarterback does hand it off. Running back has it. Looks like he is into the end zone for a touchdown. For the Broncos here on the 17-yard line of their side of the field. After a tackle for a loss and an incomplete pass, it comes down to this. Sonora is trying to get their first down of the game, which they have not done yet. First possession ended in a punt. They went 3 and out. Quarterback's got it. Running back to the left. And he has it. He's on his feet. Looking downfield to hit. And it's intercepted by the Cristobal Cougars in Sonora Bronco territory. Goal from the 1-yard line. Quarterback keeps it. Oh, he gets stopped. And Cristobal's going to get it deep in their own territory. That backs up the Broncos. They're going to be at the 8-yard line trying to get a touchdown. They have yet to score a touchdown. Only score by the Broncos has been a safety, and that was after they were stopped in the end zone, or trying to get in the end zone. So quarterback calls for it, hands it off. Running back's on his feet, and he just walks in and gets a touchdown to put the Broncos up 8-6 here with 3.5 to go in the second quarter. For halftime, we've got a little over 20 minutes before we resume the game in the third quarter. Right now, the pride of Sutton County is taking the field for the halftime show. Score is 10-6. Sonora Broncos over the Cristobal Cougars here in Cristobal tonight. Folks are currently headed over to the Cougar Cafe where they have some great Frito pie. Heard it is legendary according to Texas standards. And so it's been a hard-hitting game tonight. Both teams are playing hard, putting everything on the field. Right now, it's just a matter to see what happens when we resume the third quarter. Sonora is going to be kicking off to Cristobal as Cristobal won the toss, and they did elect to defer. So looking forward to some great football. We'll see what happens, who's going to win this game. It's pretty close. A lot of momentum going both ways.
That's right. There are a lot of momentum going both ways. Us in the studio, me and James, we have, we're going head-to-head on this one. I picked the Broncos. He picked the Cougars. Right now, it's looking to be a really good competitive game, and it looks really close, and it looks like the Broncos are just, putting it on them. What do you think, James?
You want an ugly update real fast, Matt?
Sure.
Sonora 24, Cristobal 6.
Woo! Stay tuned for the post game. We'll have more of those highlights. 24-6 right now. Halftime is over there.
It's in the fourth quarter now there in Cristobal, according to TexasFootball.com.
We may just be running this thing all the way through at the end of this night. We got a bunch of fast-moving games. James, what do you see? Okay, pretend like you didn't know the score and it's 10-6. What are you thinking about the Cougars tonight? I guess you can't erase that memory, but it's not over yet. So, what are we thinking about the Cougars tonight?
I think you got away from what you were doing. Got to run the ball. But Edgar DeLuna is a good linebacker. They have a good defense. Jamie Butron, Hunter O'Bannon, they're both outstanding playmakers for Sonora. You just have these tremendous athletes out there. And Blake Weston, I'm sorry. I should have picked y'all.
There you go. Hey, you want to know why they're probably winning? Because they did the best play in football that you can do. Look, you can go score 7 points. You can go score 3 points. You can score maybe 8 points, right? What if I told you there was a way to score 9 points in football? There is a way, and that is by getting so you go for it on 4th and goal and from the 1-yard line, and you didn't get it. Wow, so sad, Sonora. But guess what? They get a sack the next play. Cristobal has to kick it as a safety. That's 2 points. We're going to go score. There's another 6 points. Add 1 more on top of that. And actually add 2 more on top of that. They scored 10 points basically at one time. And with that kind of results, that kind of, pushed your momentum forward. And now we'll remember that stat you told me, James, and it's 24-6.
And that's what happened last year in Llano when Cristobal played Burton. They stopped on the goal line, and Cristobal took a safety.
Let them score.
And they punted it. It was just one of those deals that Cristobal just got beat there. It came down to 20 yards at the end.
That is one of those freak things, though.
Yeah, Lohman completed a pass. This was the last play of the game. He completed a pass to Bo Jolly, and he just 20 yards short. But you think about the game of inches, and it's football, and that 1 yard at the goal line makes a difference. That's the difference between a 9-point swing. That's just part of it.
Absolutely. Well, there's still one game left of the season, so we'll find out what happens. It looks like maybe the winner of this is probably going to win the district.
No, Forestand's probably going to win the district. Sonora will probably be second. and then
Because
Cristobal, then Reagan
Sonora
County,
lost
probably.
to Forsan.
Right. No, they haven't played Forsan
Have they
yet.
lost? Yeah,
They
that's
haven't
what,
played Forsan
so
yet.
so that'd be the last game of the season.
So next week could be the district championship. You know, Sonora could very well win it, and I'll probably be on another trip to Sonora and with my tail between my legs. Apologizing to Blake Weston for not picking him.
There you go.
So
Hey,
part
well,
of it though.
Hey, that's
I will gladly eat crow.
that's the picks. That's the picks, though. You know, that's how it all goes.
I'll gladly admit I'm wrong. It's all right. Everybody's wrong every
Hey,
once in a while, right?
Last place in picks. I tell you, that is how picks go. All right, so moving on to our next game, guys. But before we do, I want you guys to remember this name, and his name is Davis Woodfin. That's right. Davis Woodfin is a financial advisor from Edward Jones, and he's making sense of investing. You got to go see him today. He's at 4102 South Jackson Street, or give him a call at 325-249-0082. Remember, this is Davis Woodfin. He's a financial advisor here in San Angelo. Go see him today, 4102 South Jackson, or give him a call, 325-249-0082. All right, moving on to our next game. It is going to be the Wall Hawks. All right, the Wall Hawks right now are also in this tight, close game. So I'll just let y'all see it. Let's check it out.
Here we go. Young man, sophomore Brylan White gets a sack. We heard about all about how early he hadn't given up any sacks. Brylan White on the first drive gets a sack. Gunnar Dill's going to roll it. He's going to find Logan Thomas downfield for a huge pass play. How many times did you see Wall throw it?
I know, not
Great
very
play.
often. You'll see
And
why.
this might be why. Gunnar Dill drops back and just throws an interception. But you're getting hit, you just threw it up. You know, take the sack there and live to play another down. But here you go, this next Wall drive. You're going to get Nathan Pepper there, and he's going to run in for a quick score.
That's going to be the
Start with the rain, and then here you go. Here's that number 8.
taking it to the cribbo.
Oh, that's Chestlock, Griffin Chestlock.
That's about an 80-90-yard run right there.
Run it down. This is a option play. Just takes
Some
up.
speed
He's
option
going to get
there.
smacked.
Oh!
He got bonked.
Hit a wall, definitely. And
Here's just a fumble. It's raining there in the Wall. You saw the rain coming down. Here's the next. This is right before halftime.
next possession.
Yeah, the next Wall possession.
Those weren't back to back. Those were, that was
Yeah.
a miss at the beginning, kind of miss up. And then at the end is the made field goal. Right now, Wall leads 10-6?
10-6 and.
Or 10-7.
10-7. My bad.
10-7. That's
And
on me.
early had a fantastic play where Wall player tipped it. Early receiver caught it and got downfield for big yards, but no score update as of yet, I don't believe. So, nope, nothing yet. So
Yeah. All right. Well,
it's still 10-7.
Still 10-7. And you know
Wall's
the
still
Wall
in this.
Hawks, they're going to try to just eat up as much clock as they can.
It wouldn't surprise me that game's nearly over, to be honest with you.
Right, yeah, exactly.
If that Cristobal game's nearly over, this Wall game's probably nearly over. So
Yeah, and it's raining a little bit, so they're going to be definitely running the football. Well, that's all they pretty much do anyways. I guess we saw them throw the football a little bit. Were you surprised about that?
yeah, I was, but if Coach Guy kind of knew early he's going to be a tough team to play, so why not come out and give them something they haven't really seen?
There you go.
So I kind of understand it.
Also, like you alluded to it a little bit during the highlight section, but early they hadn't given up a sack all season long. No sacks. That's
Since
pretty-
last year. Since the playoffs last year, they hadn't given up sacks.
And we got
So-
one on the first.
Brylan White, that's Coach White's son. I remember that kid was born. I almost had an existential crisis when I found out he was a sophomore.
There you go.
I'm getting old.
There you go. Well, for all the COVER1 people, we chose across the board. All of us, we chose Wall. So
Yeah, we all believed in Wall.
yeah, we all got to keep rooting for them and make sure that they win this thing.
Go get another sack. Go get some more sacks and control the clock and hey,
Absolutely, get it
Wall,
done.
do your Wall thing.
Do your wall thing. Yeah, exactly.
Do the
All
Wall
right.
thing.
Moving on, but before we do, this show is brought to you by Angelo Bolton Industrial Supply. Go see them for all of your hardware needs. I'm telling you, they got everything you need from fasteners and screws and nuts and everything like that. But they also have a lot of power tools, hardware tools, such as stuff from DeWalt and Milwaukee. So you'll want to go see those guys, Angelo Bolton Industrial Supply. They're at 808 Warehouse Drive. All right, James, going to our scores page. We're going to move at them pretty quickly here so we can get everything ramped up for our next show, which is going to be around the 10 o'clock hour. It'll be probably right after the Central game ends, so just be on the heads up for that one. Okay, moving into it, we have a dogfight right here between San Angelo TLCA and Ballinger. Ballinger still looking for their first win of the season. 20-20 right now.
The end of that district's still up for, that fourth place spot is still
You can very well squeeze in that fourth spot as a 1-9 Ballinger team. Wouldn't that be crazy?
Absolutely.
Okay, moving on. Oh. Sorry, I'm getting a little refresh here. Here we go. Albany and Hamlin, 55-0 Albany. Cisco Anson, 34-6. Cisco Mason Stockdale, 28-12. The Punchers are up. We went over that one. Forsan Ozona, 26-14. Forsan Coleman De Leon, 50-0. Coleman's up. Midland Legacy 27-3. We'll have highlights on that one for our post-game show. 27-3 right now. Legacy's up. Sonora Cristobal, we told you about this score, 24-6. Sonora, Talar, and Goldthwaite 43-0.
Blackwell and Bront 44-20. Blackwell. Miles Roscoe 56-12. Miles. Brownwood Andrews, Brownwood 38-3 over Andrews.
That's a pretty big win because that might seal that district up if they can win that game, and then they've already beaten Lubbock Estacado. So
I believe it will. Jim Ned over Vernon 14-7. Robert Lee over Eden 52-19. Wink over Sterling City, 21-7 at the half. That's still very within reach there.
Definitely so. But this game was a lot closer than this until that halftime point.
Right. Erie County over Menard, 48-8. Bangs over Hamilton, 20-13.
Abilene TLCA and Cross Plains. What were you going to say?
I was going to read the score.
Oh, my bad. Abilene TLCA and Cross Plains 54-0 Cross Plains. Olney and Colorado City 35-0 Olney. Anthony Reagan County 28-6. The Owls are up in that one. Lorraine and Trent final last night's game 55-0. Oh, that might have been tonight. Sorry.
That might have been halftime.
Yeah, definitely.
45.
McCamey El Dorado 22-6 McCamey. Odessa and Friendship right now 35-27. Odessa is up against Friendship. Now, that's a really crazy score if you've been paying attention to this little Southwest Conference. Johnson City and Junction 35-6 Johnson City. Brady and Grape Creek 14-12. Grape Creek, another one of those teams that is looking for their first win of the season, can get it done here. It's in reach, 14-12. Midland TLCA and Water Valley, that one was a canceled game there. Paint Rock Moran 72-22. Paint Rock, Lubbock Estacado last night beat Big Spring 24-21. And, of course, Wall early 10-7. And the San Angelo Central Bobcats are up against the Odessa Permian Panthers 31-28. Wow, James, we've gone through a lot of football here. But I just want to give you one chance. What else are you seeing out there? What else do you got on these games? But what's something that the people should know right now?
That Stockdale Mason game, that's real interesting. They are in the same they're obviously in the same district, but Stockdale's a really good team. So is Mason. Stockdale has a running back, Derek Cody, who's got over 1,000 yards. And for Mason to be beating them right now, that's a big deal. I think Stockdale's undefeated at this point. So that's a big score right there. That was one that kind of caught me by surprise.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we saw Mason. They had a really, we saw them live on the Cover One show when they played Cristobal, and so we've seen the Punchers so far this season. They've looked pretty good, but also you're right. That is a kind of a mismatch right there. All right, guys, this has been the Cover One halftime show. This is where you're going to come to find all the scores, analysis, highlights, everything you need to know. James, before we go, we got something?
Yep, Jim Ned just scored. It's 21-7. Jim Ned over Vernon. That was I went to Jim Ned yesterday and talked with Coach Fanning, and he had nothing but good things to say about Vernon. So that's a big score. If Jim Ned wins this one, they beat Breckenridge. I think they could win the district there.
All right, there you go. There goes the Indians. Okay, this is the Cover One halftime show. We will see you guys at 10 o'clock. Don't forget, this is where you're going to find everything you need when it comes to Texas high school football. I'm Matt Trammell. You've been talking to me and James Bellini. Of course, y'all saw Ryan Chadwick. You will see him on our postgame show live in studio. So make sure you check that out. We'll have highlights and coaches' interviews from Coach Crane, maybe even get Coach Guy. So we will see you guys at 10 o'clock.